So students, I hope you have seen previous two videos of chapter 6 square and square roots and you are clear with the topics which we have covered in the previous two sessions. So today I am here with third and last session of chapter 6 square and square roots where we will learn few more concepts and we will solve some exercises.
So students, let's start with today's session. Students, in previous two sessions, we learned about introduction of the concept, properties of square numbers, some more interesting patterns, finding the square of a number, numbers between square numbers, and we also discussed Pythagorean triplets. In today's session, third session, we will learn about square root of decimal numbers, and estimation of square root. First topic, square root. Students, we know that 6 square is equal to 36. So, square of 6 is 36. And now, please pay attention that square root of 36 is 6. Understood? The number we are multiplying with itself, that number is called square root of the perfect square number. We multiply 6 with 6, then we call it as 6 square, and the product is 36. So we say that square of 6 is 36. Same, square root of 6 is square root of 36 is number 6. So, square root of a number is denoted by symbol this. So, this symbol is symbol of square root. Let's see inverse of the following operations. We know that the inverse of addition is subtraction. Inverse of multiplication is division. So same way we can say that square root is the inverse operation of square. So inverse of square root, as I have said that this is the symbol of square root, and we know that we write the square in the bracket this way. So we can say that inverse of the square root is square. Okay. Let's see for the square of a number. Over here we are given. We know that 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, and so on. And so n square is equal to m. Then square root of a number. So this one, which is a perfect square, we will write under this symbol. So square root of 1, this is read as square root of 1 is equal to 1. So as I said, this will be read as square root of 1 is 1. Similarly, square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. And square root of number m is equal to n. Now, one more important thing, pay attention here. We have 5 square is equal to 25, and same way we have minus 5 square is also equal to 25. Similarly, for any number, say 4 square is 16 and minus 4 square is also 60. Say 11 square is 121, and similarly minus 11 square is also 121. Then when we are saying square root of 25, then square roots of 25, we can have two square roots. For number 25, there is 5 and minus 5. Similarly, if we'll talk about 16, then we'll have two square roots. That is 4 and minus 4. Same way for 121, we will have again two square roots. That is 11 and minus 11. But for this chapter, for now, for 8th standard, we can say we will consider only positive square root of a number. We will not consider this negative square root. Whenever we are using the symbol of square root that I have shown in the previous slide, then you have to write only positive square root. So whenever you are asked to write a square root of a number, we will write only a positive square root of the number. Here we are not going to take into consideration the negative one. Okay. Next, finding the square root. See, students, there are different methods of finding square root. One is by continuous subtraction. Another one is this prime factorization method. And the third method we have is division method. Here, I am discussing prime factorization method. The another method that I said, that is of continuous subtraction, that we are not using much unless and until it is compulsorily asked to you that you have to use that method. We have such sums in the exercise also, so that we will see during when we are solving the exercise. Here we are discussing the method of prime factorization. You know how to find the prime factors of any number. Let's see. Find the square root of 144, or it can be also asked as find square root of 144 in symbolic form. Okay, so for that we will find first all the prime factors of number 144. So let's see how to do it. So 144 is an even number, so we'll start with 2. We know that 72 2s are 144. Then we'll have 36 2s are 72. Then we have 18 2s are 36. Then we have 19 2s are 9 2s are 18. Now we have 9 over here, which is an odd number. So we'll start with 3, and we all know that 9 is divisible by 3. So we'll start with 3. 3 3s are 9 and 3 1s are 3. So these are the factors, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. So prime factors of 144 are 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. So now after finding the prime factors, what we will do is we will pair the factors. So here we have made pair. So 2 into 2 is one pair. Again 2 into 2 is another pair. And 3 into 3 is the third pair. Now we know that 2 into 2 we can write it as 2 square. So it will be 2 square into 2 square into 3 square. So square root of 144 is equal to square root of this factors. Correct? Because 144 is 2 square into 2 square into 3 square. So square root of 144 is equal to square root of 2 square into 2 square into 3 square. Now, next step is very important. Here you will remove this square root sign, and also you will remove this square, because we have to write the square root. Okay, so now we will write only 2 into 2 into 3, and the product of 2 into 2 into 3 is 12. So square root of 144 is 12. Again, I am repeating, what you will do is first you will find the prime factors of the given number. The next step is pairing of the factors. Then writing the square root of both the number and the paired factors, and then removing the square root of sign of square root on the right hand side, as well as you will remove the square. you will just write the base, that is 2 and 3, and then the product of these numbers will be the square root of the given number, that is 12 over here. So square root of 144 is 12. Next, number of digits in a square root number. See, students, for that, if the given number is a perfect square and number of digits in a perfect square number is n, then its square root will have n upon 2 digits if that n is even, or n plus 1 upon 2 digits when n is odd. Let's see the example. Here we have number 144. So we have 1, 2 and 3 digit number it is. Okay, and 3 we know that it is an odd number. So what we will do is we will add 1 to 3, that is 3 plus 1 we will do, and then we will divide it by 2. So we'll have 4 upon 2 is equal to 2. So square root of 144 will have 2 digits. We know that square root of 144 is 12 and that is a 2-digit number. Suppose you have some number which has 5 digits, then the square root of that number will have 5 plus 1 upon 2, that is 6 upon 2, that is 3 digits in its square root. Let's see one more example, number 25. We know that 25 is a 2-digit number. So square root of 25 will have n upon 2, that is 2 upon 2, that is 1 digit. We know that square root of 25 is 5, which is a 1-digit number. Next topic is estimation of square roots. Students, we know that square root of 1 is 2, square root of 4 is, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, and so on. But what if we have to find a square root of some bigger number and also which is not a perfect square? So here we are estimating the value. We will not find the exact square root, but we can say that the square root of some number, say this 250, will be nearby this number. We will not find the exact number, but we can estimate it. So let's see how to do that. For number 250, we know that 250 is greater than 100 and it is smaller than 400. Here I have taken number 100 and 400 because I know that these two are perfect square numbers. Also, the nearby perfect square numbers of 250 is 225, which is smaller than 250, and the another perfect square number which is near to 250 is 256 over here. See, this is 225 and 256, which are the nearby numbers of 250 and they are perfect square also. Here I have started with 100 and 400, then I'll move further with the closer number. So what you have to do is you have to find the perfect square numbers which are nearby to the given number. So for 250 we have 225 and 256. Now we know that the square root of 225 is 15 and square root of 256 is 16. So obviously when we are asked to estimate the square root of 250, obviously it will be greater than 15 and it will be smaller than 16. So we will write it as 15 is less than square root of 250 is less than 16. Okay, so we can say that square root of 250 is approximately about 16. So here we will consider the greater number. Okay. So in short, what you have to do is you will write the given number in the center, and on both the sides, the left hand side, you will write the smaller perfect square number, which is very near to 250 or the given number, and on the right hand side you will write another perfect square number which is very near to the given number and it is bigger than the given number, and then you will write the square roots of both the numbers, and the greater number will be the estimated value. Okay, you will understand this again more clearly when we will solve it in the exercise. Exercise 6.3. Here, without doing any calculation, you have to find the numbers which are surely not perfect squares. For that, we will use the property of squares that we have discussed in the previous session. Here, number 153, we will focus on the unit digit number which is there on the units place. So 153 ends with 3. So it cannot be a perfect square number, because we know that for the number to be a perfect square, it must end with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. And when there is 0, the number of zeros should be even. Okay, here we have 3. So obviously 153 is not a perfect square number. Same for 257, we have 7 on the unit place. So obviously 257 is also not a perfect square number. Next, find the square root of 100 and 169 by the method of repeated subtraction. As I mentioned earlier, here is the method of repeated subtraction. For 100, what we have to do is, we know that the sum of first n odd natural number is n square. We have done it in the previous sessions where we were adding the consecutive odd numbers, right? So in order to find the square root, what we will do is we will subtract the consecutive odd numbers. So for 100, I have shown it over here. See, first we'll start with 1. So 100 minus 1 is 99. Then the next consecutive odd number after 1 is 3. So 99 minus 3, which is 96. Next consecutive odd number of 3 is 5. So 96 minus 5 is 91. Then next is 91 minus 7 is 84. Then 84 minus 9 is 75. 75 minus 11 is equal to 64. 64 minus 13 is 51. 51 minus 15 is 36. 36 minus 17 is 19. And 19 minus 19 is equal to 0. So we have to continue this process of subtraction till we get the difference 0. And here this difference we are getting at 10th number. So square root of 100 is 10. Suppose we have 169 also, then what we will do is we will proceed again with 1. We will start with 1 and then we will proceed with 3 and 5 and 7 and 9 and 11 and 13, then 15, then 17, then 19. Okay, that way, then 21, then 23 and so on. So for 169, we will get the difference of 0 at 13 steps. So the square root of 169 is equal to 13. And here for 100, we are getting 0 at 10 steps. So square root of 100 is 10. Next, question number 4. Find the square root by prime factorization method. This we have already discussed, but again one more we have over here in the exercise, that is 729. So first what we will do is we'll find the prime factors of 729. We know that 729 is an odd number and it is divisible by 3. So starting with 3, we'll have 3 into 243, that is 729. Then again 81 threes are 243. Then 27 threes are 81. Then 9 threes are 27. 3 threes are 9, and 3 ones are 3. So these are the prime factors. The next step is pairing of the factors. So we'll have 3 square into 3 square into 3 square. Now next step we will put the sign of square root on both sides. Okay. So root of square root of 729 is square root of 3 square into 3 square into 3 square. Okay. Now we will remove the sign of square root only on right hand side. Remember, you are not supposed to remove the sign of square root from the left hand side. You will remove the sign of square root from only right hand side. You will remove sign of square root as well as you will remove the powers. So you will write only base over here, that is 3 into 3 into 3, and the product is, or the answer is 27. So we can say that square root of 729 is equal to 27.
Exercise 6.4. Question 1. Find the square root of the following numbers by division method. Students, we have already discussed one method of finding a square root, that is by prime factorization method. This is the another method where we can also find the square root by division. So here first number for which we have to find the square root is 2304, that is 2304. So first step over here is we will group this number into digits, 2 digits. So here we'll start from right hand side and we'll divide the number into group of 2 digits. So first, starting from right hand side, as I said, my first group will be of 04 and I'll put bar for the same, and the second group will be 23. So here I have divided this number into two groups, that is 23 and 04. Next step is I have to choose one number over here for division such that if I multiply that number by itself, then the product should be equal or less than 23. Say if I'll take 2, then I have to multiply 2 with 2, that is 2 2s are 4, so it is less than 23. If I'll take 3, then it is 3 3s are 9, that is again less than 23. Then if I'll take 4 4s are 16, then 16 is also again smaller than 23. But if I'll choose 5, then we know that 5 5s are 25. So this 25 will be greater than 23. So here I have to choose number 4. So starting with number 4, I'll write 4 over here and 4 over here because 4 4s are. Then I'll write 16 over here. Okay. And then I have to take the subtraction of 23 and 16. So it will be 7. This is the first step. Now next step is, here I have taken 4. So same number I have to add over here, and that addition of this 4 with 4, that is 8, I'll write over here. Now over here I'll bring this 0 4 both down together. Remember, the group of the number that we have made, both the numbers should be brought down together. So now I have to divide this number 704. For that, again I have to choose some number over here along with 8, so that if I'll multiply the same number, suppose if I'm taking 2 over here, then the number will be 82, and that 82 I'll multiply with 2 because the number I have chosen over here is 2. So if I'll take 82, then 82 2s are, whatever the product is, I have to write over here. But the number you have to choose is accordingly, so that the number should be nearby to 704 or it should be equal to 704. So now I'll take 8 over here. So because I have written 8 over here, I have to multiply also with 8. So 88 8s are 704. So here the subtraction will do and the remainder will be 0. So we can write down that square root of 2304 is equal to 48. So this is the answer. Next number we have is 529. See, in the previous number, the number was of 4 digit. Here we have number 529, which has only 3 digits. So again, as I said, first we'll group the digits into 2, starting from right hand side. So first group will be 29, and here because it is 3 digit or odd number of digits are there, here we are left with only 1 digit. That is okay. Now again for 5, here we have to choose the number such a way that if we'll multiply or if we'll take the square of that number, then the square should be equal or less than 5. We note that the nearest square, perfect square number to 5 and which is also smaller than 5 is 4. So here we'll start with 2. So it will be 2 2s are 4. Subtracting 4 from 5, we are left with 1. Okay. Now bringing this 29 over here. So the new number is 129. Now here, as I said, the same number I have to add, that is 2 plus 2, that is 4. Now with 4 on its unit place, here I have to choose one number again such a way that if I'll multiply whatever the number is with the same digit, then the product should be equal or it should be less than 129. So if I'll take 2 over here, then the number will be 42, and because I have taken 2 over here, I'll multiply 42 with 2, that will be 84, which is less than 129. If I'll take 3 over here, then 43 into 3 I have to do, and 43 3s are 129, which is equal to 129. So I'll take 3. So 43 3s are 129, and the remainder we are left with is 0. So square root of 529 is equal to 23. Let's see one more number, that is 1024. So here again grouping the numbers from right hand side, one group will be of 24 and another will be of 10. Now here we have to choose a number such that square of that number should be less than or equal to 10. We know that 10 is not a perfect square, and the nearest perfect square number which is also less than or which is also smaller than 10 is 9. So here we will start with 3 because square root of 9 is 3. So 3 3s are 9, we will write over here. Okay, taking subtraction, we have 1. Now we'll bring this 24 down, so the new number will be 124. This 3, same number we have to add over here, so it will be 6. Okay, now the next step is we have to choose a number over here on the unit place with 6, such a way that the product will be less than or equal to 124. So we know that 62 2s are 124. So the remainder will be 0, and our answer, that is square root of 1024, is equal to 32. Exercise 6.4, question 3. Find the square root of the following decimal numbers. Here, square root of decimal numbers, we can use the method of prime factorization, or we can also use the method of division. Here I am showing finding the square root of the decimal numbers by division method. So here, same as we have done in the previous question, first we will group the digits, but in case of decimal numbers, what you have to take care of is, we know that the decimal number has two parts. One is the whole part and the another one is decimal part. So for the whole part, when you are grouping, you have to start from right hand side as we have done in the whole numbers, and the decimal parts, when you are grouping, you will start from left hand side. So here the group will be 29. So now starting with 7, we know that the perfect square number which is smaller than 7 is 4, and square root of 4 is 2. So we will start from 2, that is 2 2s are 4, and the subtraction of 7 and 4 will give 3. Now here, as you know, we'll add same number, so we'll have 4 over here. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Now important part is, next step we are bringing decimal part, that is the digits after decimal points, down over here for division. So here we will put the decimal point in the quotient, and then we'll proceed further as we were doing in the whole numbers. Now the next step is, we have to search for some number such that the product of the new number with the same digit will be smaller or equal to 329. So here we have 9 on its unit place, so either the number can be 3 because we know that 3 3s are 9, or the number can be 7 because 7 7s are 49. So we can take 43 into 3, or we can take 47 into 7. So here the number will be 7. So 47 7s are 329. So the remainder will be 0, and square root of 7.29 is equal to 2.7. Next, number 4, 42.25. In the previous sum, we had total number of digits were 3. Here we have total 4 digits. So as I said, for the whole part, for grouping the whole part, we'll start from right hand side. So it is 42, and for decimal part, we will start from left hand side. Suppose over here you have some more digits, that is say 2, 5, 1, 2. Then what you'll do? You'll make a group of 2, 5, and then 1, 2. Or if you'll have just 2, 5, 1, then you'll put 0 extra and you'll make a pair. So here we have 42.25. Now searching for the perfect square number which is smaller than 42. The number is 36. That is 6 6 are 36. So we'll start with 6. That is 6 6 are 36, and we'll take the difference of 42 and 36. So we are left with 6 over here. Okay, and again we'll add this 6 to this 6, and the sum will be 12. Okay, now we are bringing this decimal part down 25, and because now we are proceeding with decimal part, we will put decimal point in the quotient. Now again we have to search for some digit over here after 12 on the unit place, such that if we'll multiply the new number with the same digit, then the number should be equal or it should be smaller than 625. 625 is 5 over here, so obviously we need to put 5 over here, because 5 5s are 25, then only we can have 5 on the unit place. So 125 into 5, or we can say 125 5s are 625. So the difference will be 0, and square root of 42.25 is equal to 6.5. Students, whenever you are given a perfect square number, remember that always the remainder you will get will be 0. So if the number is a perfect square, then only you will get the remainder 0. Otherwise you will be left with some number over here. So this is how we can find the square root of the decimal number by long division method.
So students, here we are ending with third session of chapter 6. I hope you have understood all the topics very well, and keep practicing all the sums, and rest of the sums which I have not solved over here in the video sessions, those sums you have to solve it in your notebook as a part of homework. So thank you for watching. Goodbye and take care of yourself.